Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're having yet another 1v1 on Langreskaya. Our heroes today are once again Mr. Cruzz, this time around playing as the OKW forces, with its nifty little truck right there. And his opponent is still going to be Mr. Quentin, or also known as Darth Vader, as the US forces in the red this time around. So once again, this is from the StarCross Cup tournament, number 2, held by Romeo, and this is from the round of 8, also known as round 3, and this is game number 2. So we saw Quentin taking game number 1 with his stuggy combos. And I noticed after casting that I really didn't talk about these players. I mean, these both are pretty good, top 10 and top 20 essentially players. Quentin, the higher ranked of both. We have right now Cruzz is OKW is ranked number 10, which is arguably his highest rank and strongest, I suppose. But Quentin is also ranked number 5 for the US forces, so it's still an uphill battle there for Mr. Cruzz. But yeah, I mean, the last game Quentin had rank 12 on his Wehrmacht, and Cruzz was ranked 13 on his Soviet, so pretty evenly matched as well there. So, you know, it's pretty good all around. So anyways, we see Cruzz pushing his truck out onto the field, just taking some damage, not really pushing around or anything, but we have Cruzz getting 3 Volksgrenadiers to start with. Quentin, for his part, has gotten 2 riflemen and 2 rear echelon squads. So, I mean, obviously he's just getting an extra rear echelon squad, as you always start with one. But yeah, I mean, he's got 2 and 2 right now, so we'll see what ends up happening. Quentin has selected his doctrine, and that is the Airborne company, a very versatile doctrine, as we always know. So he may once again have an entire build and strategy in mind, so he's not going to be reacting to his opponent. He's going to be dictating the pacing of the game. So over on the right-hand side, we have rear echelon squads and riflemen engaging the Volksgrenadiers. Volksgrenadiers deciding to engage the rear echelon squad a little bit more and just go capture the fuel point. As if they were to engage the riflemen, they would just lose, hands down. More Volksgrenadiers pushing out. The half-track has taken some damage. It's at about 75% strength. But, I mean, that doesn't really matter as it's a free truck and you're just going to make it a building anyways. Volksgrenadiers over on the far left-hand side, they were going for the fuel. The rear echelon squad comes up to engage them. They had activated volley fire and get suppression going on the Volksgrenadiers. Volksgrenadiers decide to crawl themselves out of the... Well, not out, but they're still in range. But, you know, crawl themselves away, get themselves into some light cover, and wait out the volley fire. The volley fire is pretty much out of effect right now, and they will be breaking their suppression and getting up rather soon. However, we do have a rifle squad moving in that direction for Quentin, and it will soon engage the Volksgrenadier squad, making the win for the US forces all that more easy. 3rd rifle squad on the field for Quentin. We do have the 3rd Volksgrenadier already out for Mr. Cruzz, actually out for a while now. And back at base, we are setting up for a mechanized regiment headquarters. So that is an interesting selection. So we're probably going to be seeing a flak half-track, maybe, I would assume. Volksgrenadiers and storm piles moving around in the center. Rifle squad retreating back to the base. Mechanized regiment headquarters is usually something, yeah, you put near the base. I mean, most of the time because, well, it repairs vehicles, but, you know, it doesn't provide reinforcing for... I mean, it doesn't provide healing for your infantry, so, yeah, I mean, having it out there doesn't seem too big of a deal. So Volksgrenadiers managing to stand against the riflemen, bring them down to 2, a 2-on-2 fight, but they decide to retreat. Rear echelon squad, however, coming up to relay or replace them, will win the engagement against the Volksgrens. The Volksgrens are just sitting there in front of them, taking fire, and they will die if they don't disengage. Volksgrenadiers now equipped with Shreks already. Storm Pioneers engaging rifles inside the house. And the Volksgrenadier squad over on the right-hand side is forced to retreat, as Cruzz, well, again, is not really having that easy a time. The mechanized regiment headquarters is already active. A 4th Volksgrenadier squad is getting produced. And we do see, yep, as suspected, the flak half-track. It's called the flak half-track, right? Yeah, flak half-track getting produced here for Mr. Cruzz. Excuse me. It is a very strong unit. It has a lot of anti-infantry firepower. It does have the restrictions of being very... Oh, nice grenade goes off against the rear echelon squad. Manages to dodge that almost successfully. Takes a little bit of splash damage, loses one of its members, and it's now a 5-on-2 fight. The rear echelon squad will lose the fight, and the Volks are just going to force him to retreat. I don't think they'll be able to get the kill. Now it's a rather healthy one-man, so he's going to get out of there. And the flak half-track is now on the field, and we have Quentin going for the, what's it called? The utility car? Yeah, utility car, there you go. He's gotten himself a lieutenant on the field. Lieutenant will also bolster that anti-infantry firepower, and the utility car will help out against the flak half-track, although not, amazingly. It is obviously a anti-infantry truck. Does come equipped with a bazooka with the crew, but if the crew pops out, it just gets itself annihilated by the flak half-track. Flak half-track shots flying all over the place, getting some shots in on the lieutenant. The lieutenant decides to retreat before it gets itself annihilated. Takes some additional shots on the retreat, and there it goes. The rear echelon squad got itself up close and personal with the half-track and suffered the consequences, taking additional damage and one-man loss on the retreat. And the flak half-track now reigns supreme. Utility car now on the field for Mr. Quentin. He's going to push down and get itself behind that Volksgrenadier squad. Shot flies from the bazooka, well, not bazooka, the Shrek from the Volksgrenadier squad, getting about half damage done on the utility car, but it does intimidate it enough to force a retreat, and away it goes. Rifle squad getting caught out of position and with no retreat point or retreat spot. The flak half-track opens up on it and forces it to abandon its post and run all the way back to the edge of the map, essentially cut off from its base. So we're going to see what happens here. Volksgrenadier squad is going to go for the cap of the point, and the rifle squad is held there. Rifle squads and lieutenant are pushing forward. Utility car continues to push. The storm pioneers are going to get assaulted by it. The flak half-track is also running away as the utility car is given chase. The Volksgrenadiers themselves do not have a Shrek this time around, so they won't do much. Flak half-track getting set up. Going to be able to get a nice amount of damage there on the utility car. Utility car taking massive amounts of damage there from the flak weapon itself. Lieutenant also taking some damage there as the flak half-track tries to fend him off and manages to do so effectively. Down to about half health, but it manages to win the engagement up here on the right-hand side corner of the map. Paratroopers getting called in for Quentin. If only these guys were able to equip recoilless rifles as they did in Vico, that would be amazing, but they do not. Thus, give him a lot of extra anti-infantry firepower, though, with those LMGs, but we'll see what he ends up doing. Cruzz, for his part, has not selected a Doctrine just yet, so we'll see what he ends up going for. Volksgrenadiers managing to win against one rear echelon squad over here on the the left-hand side fuel point. Second rear echelon squad trying to engage them, but, it's a rear echelon squad. It's not entirely designed against that, so not having an easy time. However, they do win the engagement. It retreats, and away they goes. Doctrine selected for Mr. Cruzz, and that is the Scavenge Doctrine. Jaeger Light Infantry already out on the field as they pop into this house, and the flak half-track making mincemeat out of that rifle squad as it forces the retreat. Truck moving out onto the field, probably going to be setting itself up as a Schwerpanzer headquarters. Going to set up the flak gun to protect the center points and such. It is a nice decision to do around here because it also covers the strategic point, the cutoff, and prevents that being a nuisance all throughout the game. Jaeger Light Infantry, they're going to be harassing here the rear echelon squad just getting bombarded in all directions, and some retreating in the best of angles. It actually goes around, so that is nice control there by Quentin. Whether it was intentional or not, who knows, but it looked like it was. It was all part of the plan. Utility car, once again back in full strength, moving around. It is taking some damage at about 75% strength, but going to help out against these Volksgrens. The Volksgrens are going to be retreating as the 50 cal on top makes its mark. Volksgrenadier squad with a Shrek pushing forward, going to be getting a shot off on the lieutenant, but the lieutenant dodges that like a pro. Volksgrenadier squad down to 2 men, has to retreat as the 50 cal on top is just wrecking them, and the other Volksgrenadier squad is just going to sit there and take the damage for a little bit, and is forced to retreat. So not an easy win there for Cruzz, forcing them away. But the Jaeger Light Infantry are doing their job over here on the left-hand side, cutting off those resources for Quentin and going to decap that munitions. Utility car backs off. Paratrooper squad is still moving around. They have not gotten upgraded with any amount of weapons so far, so we'll see what happens. Utility car pushes forward. The Jaeger Light Infantry getting caught in its tracks. Forced to retreat, loses one of its men, continues to retreat, and the flak half-track is set up to cover in the center point. No, it looks like the truck ended up becoming a battle group headquarters to be able to heal up the troops. I'm not sure if he's going to be building anything from it, but he does get that benefit of the medics. And, well, he needs it, really, so it's not a bad idea. Right-hand side, rifles for Quentin. She's going to try and recapture some more territory. We see yet another paratrooper squad getting called in. Have the original paratroopers being blessed with weapons? Yes, they have. The LMGs are getting equipped on the paratrooper squad. And it's kind of sad that that's the only thing they do. I wish that the Thompson submachine guns were a little bit better and maybe worth it. But yeah, everybody just goes for the LMG because of their firepower that they provide. Maybe they should all get it, you know, like 6 Thompson submachine guns, and that would just make it a tough decision, right? Mines getting laid down, and not laid down there by cruzz. Flak half-track pushes forward, gets itself in between the enemy right outside the base. Going to be getting some free shots off on the retreating paratrooper squad. Paratrooper squad really not taking too much damage in that effect, but, well, I mean, yeah. They're not having an easy time, are they? No ambulance on the field for Quentin, so his troops are moving out onto the field damaged. So it is a bit unfortunate there, but he is obviously thinking of doing something, I suppose. And my headphones are not working. There we go. Utility car trying to engage against this Volksgren squad. Takes a nasty shot to the rear armor. Still pretty strong, though. It has about 60% strength, maybe a little bit more. The Volksgren squad does end up getting out of there and retreating, but we do see more Shreks slowly getting equipped on the squads. Flak half-track setting up and catching the rifle squad out in the open, although most of the shots impact on the terrain. The utility car going to be pushing forward, and it actually manages to get some damage in there on that flak half-track. The flak half-track moving around, trying to set up once again, and it does manage to actually set up. Storm Pioneer squad forced to retreat. The 50 cal is going to chase him down. Oh, there we go. Nice shots there by the flak half-track, doing a lot of damage to the utility car, and the utility car runs away, popping its smoke, breaking line of sight. Very nice control there. Nasty rifle grenade goes off on the flak half-track. The flak half-track takes engine damage. That is just standard engine damage, but it doesn't need to move to shoot, so it's fine in that regard. Jaeger light infantry once again on the field, more coming out, and we see these guys popping out behind the enemy and taking some shots at the lieutenant and rifles. More rifle squads around, capturing territory, connecting the resources on the right-hand side. So Quentin doing a great job actually controlling resources, as he has both of the fuels, but both munitions are currently decapped, so that's kind of funny. Supply half-track now out on the field. Will cruzz be upgrading that to the Schwerpanzer headquarters out on the field to cover? We shall see. Volksgrens and rifles engaging in the center. Right-hand side, we have the utility car still moving around. Mine getting triggered there by the paratrooper squad. Paratrooper squad down to 2 men, managing to inflict a decent amount of damage here to the Volksgren squad, bringing it down to 3, but forcing to retreat. Oh, interesting. The flak panzer is now on the field for cruzz. That is going to help him out quite a bit. The utility car is now caught behind the lines. He is moving up to the north, trying to give chase, but the flak panzer is forced to be wrecking the Ostwind. I forget that you can actually get that with these guys, this Doctrine. Half-track moving forward. Looks like it's just a scouting half-track. It looks like cruzz is not really inclined to tech up right now. He does have his flak panzer, the Ostwind. Oh, getting caught in the crossfire by both. Down goes a utility car, and that is a dead truck. The supply half-track. CPU. I'm not sure what he's trying to say, but whatever. Anyways, so left-hand side, we have the Volksgren squad trying to cap the fuel, getting engaged by everything, including the Major, and that is not going to go well for him, so he just retreats. As the right-hand side has basically fallen completely for Quentin, and cruzz is going to slowly recapture all territory as he sends his flak panzer, the Ostwind, up to chase the paratroopers. And the thing is that aside from the rifle grenades that the rifle squads can do, there's not a lot of anti-tank firepower going on right now. So the flak half-track and the Ostwind are pretty much unopposed. The paratrooper squad going to get caught on the retreat, going to be dying there to all the infantry, and we see a massive blob here over on the left-hand side for Quentin as he has the rifle and lieutenant and rear echelon squad all together. Not a good idea against the Ostwind. Breaks him up, leaves a rifle squad there to engage. The Ostwind will just continue to fight there, as we do see a Sherman getting produced for Quentin to try and fight these vehicles. Rocket and Warfare getting produced for Cruzz, so he's going to have his own response there to the Sherman. It's already on the field, and the Ostwind is actually trying to chase down the rifle squad, getting a decent amount of damage in there. Almost taking it out completely, but not succeeding in that regard. Ostwind, his time on this Earth, well, not this Earth, but in this part of the map is over, as the Sherman hits the field. The Sherman will make it back up. Maybe not kill it, but, you know, make it back off a little bit. We do have Shreks equipped on the Volksgrenadier. Shrek does fly and manages to nail the Sherman. The Ostwind is backing off, getting caught in the threads there by the Sherman, taking some additional damage. More Shreks fly at the Sherman. The Sherman is at about half strength. The Ostwind itself is now down to about 30% strength at best. Sherman continues to put the chase. We do have the Rocket and Warfare on the field, but not enough to get the, or well, not anywhere near enough to get the kill. Sherman managing to eliminate the Ostwind, taking a decent amount of damage, down to about 30% strength itself, but it does have its crew. It's going to pop it out, get repairs, and it has managed to stabilize the situation. Flak half-track is rather bold, and it sets up right outside the base, going to be trying to stop the approaching infantry. We do see a rifle squad in the center going for the victory point. And victory points are 431 to 393, so not too big of a difference. Oh, barrage goes off, eliminates that rifle squad in the center. So there's only one rifle squad left in the game that the vehicles really need to worry about as far as, you know, anti-tank grenade goes. Flak half-track catching another paratrooper squad on the retreat as well. Quentin tried to go for the cutoff. Too bold, too aggressive, and it ends up biting him in the ass. Down to 2 men on that paratrooper squad. Manages to get the retreat off. The Sherman unable to get hits off on that Flak Panzer. Flak Panzer setting up once again to return fire. And it is covered by the Rocket and Warfare, so the Sherman is forced to back off. More paratroopers getting called onto the field. Those will help out against infantry, but again, they don't have that anti-tank rifle grenade. Rifle squad just getting completely harassed there by the rifles. The Rocket and Warfare moving around nearby to provide support and cover for the Sherman. Volksgrenadier squad up in the fuel point on the left, getting caught by the Sherman. Sherman gonna give chase. It does have its explosive rounds activated, trying to see if it can get a kill on the retreat. Not gonna chase it all the way back to the base, so it just turns around and faces it. We do have a Shrek equipped on that Volksgren squad inside the house, manages to return fire and get some damage in on that Sherman. The Sherman is cut off from its own base right now in that direction, needs to turn around and go in this direction to be able to get a safe path back. We do have more Jaeger Light Infantry and Storm Pilots around. Rocket and Warfare moving in that direction as the Sherman still holds there. Volksgrenadier squad pops in the house, gets another Shrek going off on that Sherman. Going to be taking some return fire. Down to 1 man, actually goes down. A sacrifice there by Cruzz. Storm Pioneer squad retreating from the center as the Flak half-track gets some shots in onto the smoke. Trying to see if it can get any kills. It's attacking ground, but it's not actually doing too much. Does manage to spot a rifle squad on the left-hand side, getting some shots off on it and forcing the retreat. Paratrooper squad is nearby, so it'll also do the same. So Cruzz dominating in this game more succinctly, but yeah, I mean, it's a tough engagement. Volksgrens, they all have Shreks now, so you're not going to run into one that doesn't. They do pop themselves out of the house as the Sherman is harassing them. It still has explosive rounds, so it's going to do damage inside the house. But the Rocket and Warfare is nearby and will provide some support. Ooh, nasty shot goes into center, nails one of the Volksgrenadiers. And the other Volksgrenadiers are backing off Rocket and Warfare as well, as it looks like Cruzz is going to concede a little bit of territory. There we go, finally setting up the Schwerpanzer headquarters a little bit outside of the base. It's going to be a nice place there because it covers the cutoff point, it covers the victory point, and it covers the munitions in front. That is amazing placement. That is a great location for that truck. Very nice, Cruzz. I approve. Paratroopers for Quentin, and rifles moving along, trying to recapture some territory. He has recaptured more of the map now, so he's starting to gain ground. But we'll see if Cruzz does anything. I mean, he decides to cancel his truck, exploding the pilots inside, and just away they go. Not exactly sure why he decided to do that, but I guess he has something in mind. Yeah, he decides, you know what? Instead of building that, I'm just gonna go for a Jagdpanther. The Jagdpanther is, well, I mean, very good. It is a very good. We also have the, where's, yeah, there you go, the Jagdpanther. It reminds me of the Hetzers, although not entirely, but you know, it's a nice little anti-tank assault gun, I guess, because it doesn't have a turret, so it's essentially an assault gun, right? Sherman and infantry pushing in the center. Since he does not have the Schwerpanzer headquarters set up here in the center, he's not going to have the cover of the flak gun to prevent the cutoff of his points. So that is unfortunate there for Cruzz, but he is getting that Jagdpanzer. It's already out on the field, so that's going to help him out against the Sherman. The Sherman is backing off a little bit, but the Jagdpanzer is around to provide support. Raketenwerfers are also on the field. He has 2 equipped. Well, not equipped, but you know, fielded. Jagdpanzer is getting itself caught a little bit in the terrain, so it moves in awkward angles. But the flak half-track over here on the right-hand side does provide some much-needed support there against the infantry and forces the retreat of the paratroopers. Behind the lines, we do have some Storm Pioneers and Volkskrins moving up, getting some nice Shrek shots going off on that Sherman. The Jagdpanzer is back at base. It decided that it wanted to snuggle up against its battle group headquarters. Why? And the rear echelon squads are retreating. Paratrooper squad moving back, getting caught by the flak half-track. Nice control there by Cruzz. He actually knows exactly how to shoot and scoot with the flak half-track because it has a cooldown period between every volley, so he knows that he can throw the volley, move the truck, set up again, and be right on time to throw the other volley without wasting any time and be that much closer to his target. So, I mean, it's almost equivalent to stutter stepping, right? And if for any that don't know, well, it's a StarCraft thing, but whatever. So Volkskrins, Jaegers, they're all moving over to the left-hand side. Paratrooper squad trying to go behind the lines. Right-hand side, paratrooper squad as well going behind the lines and getting past that Raketenwerfer. Raketenwerfer not in the right angle there to cover the Sherman. The Sherman managing to inflict massive amounts of pain there to the Volksgrenadier squad. Jagdpanzer returns fire on the Sherman and makes it run to mommy. And the paratrooper squad on the right-hand side did manage to decap the point, but gets itself battered and forced to retreat. The Jagdpanzer is currently set to target vehicles, so it's not going to be shooting really anybody. Decides to turn itself around. A very risky maneuver there by Cruzz. Usually with these assault weapons, you want to use a reverse function to at least keep both your gun and your, your higher armor value to the enemy. Mines are getting laid down all over the place here for Mr. Cruzz. These are shoe mines designed to take on infantry. Volksgrenadiers catching the Sherman on the left-hand side. Or the Sherman catching the Volksgrenadiers, who knows, but Sherman is at about half strength. They do force a retreat as paratroopers move in to provide support, and the Jaeger light infantry capture the point and retreat as well. Jagdpanzer once again, just moving along, exposing his rear armor to where the Sherman is, but I mean, not much you can do. Second Sherman on the field for Quentin. It pushes all the way up to the munitions point. Paratroopers pushing into the center. The Jagdpanzer is turned around to face the approaching infantry. The Sherman is behind the hedge. Inside range, or yeah, I mean in range to get shot, but you know, not exactly ideal. Flak half-track, getting some nice shots there on the paratroopers, catching one squad out of the open, getting it suppressed and forcing the retreat. Sherman moving up, gonna get some shots off on the flak half-track. Jagdpanzer and Raketenwerfer getting a nice combo shot going off on the Sherman. Sherman down to about half strength, but it decides that it wants to push forward. Why? No, there it goes. Backs off. Behind the lines, we do still have that flak half-track harassing those paratroopers. A grenade goes off on the flak half-track, trying to take it out. Nice attempt there by Quentin, but it did not pay off. And the paratroopers on the left-hand side forced to retreat to the Volks and the Jaegers. Sherman coming in for the assault, getting almost there behind the lines, but the flak half-track is back at base, getting repaired by the Mechanized Regiment headquarters. The Jagdpanzer trying to get a shot off. Oh, nice attempt there by Cruzz. Gets a shot off through the hedge, but misses the Sherman as it moved along. Raketenwerfer covering the approach. Volksgrenadiers and another Raketenwerfer hold up in that house. Oh yeah, I forgot he had two. Rear echelon squads moving forward. The Raketenwerfers won't do too much against them. They can actually be told to prioritize vehicles, in fact, so... Vehicle crews popping out, getting those Shermans repaired. The Jagdpanzer is, well, still there. Still not doing too much. The supply half-track is once again out on the field. Shots fly from the Raketenwerfer and the Volksgrenadiers, nailing the Sherman, forcing it to back off as it's down to about 30% strength. Second Sherman taking some damage as the Jagdpanzer manages to nail it with a precise, nicely placed shot. And we see another Ostwind getting called in for Mr. Cruzz. So with the Jagdpanzer to cover it, two Raketenwerfers, that Ostwind is, is in good shape as long as it's not too ballsy. It's gonna be able to stay alive and provide a lot of damage. It is similar there to the flak half-track, right? Shot flies, the paratroopers get pinned down, and they are forced to retreat. And the Jagdpanzer moves forward to cover the approaching or the advancing infantry from any Shermans that might want to end their fun. Ostwind on the field, going to be covering that Jagdpanzer. Ostwind going to be taking the lead here as it is the more multi-purpose vehicle, I suppose. Sherman's getting repaired. Where's the other Sherman, though? Where is it? Ah, over here. Flak Panzer pushes up, getting some shots off on the advancing infantry, retreating them and getting them back at base. Storm Pioneers over on the right-hand side, going to cap the strategic point as the flak half-track also helped to retreat these. And the Flak Panzer, or the Ostwind, actually pushes forward, gets itself right in front of all the infantry, and is going to just simply do what it wants because, well, none of these infantry have any type of anti-tank or anti-vehicle weaponry. Jagdpanzer, though, getting caught out of position there by one of the Shermans. The Sherman, unable to get enough damage in there, manages to get a shot on the rear armor. The Flak Panzer also getting, well, flanked there by the other Sherman. And they are all going to have to back off into the cover there of the Raketenwerfer. Shots fly from the Shreks. The Sherman down south is down to about 25% strength. The one up in the north is cut off. And the Jagdpanzer looks like it's going to go for a snipe kill into the base. There it goes. Manages to catch that Sherman. Going to turn itself around. No. Oh, the Sherman is going for the counter. No. He's going to be able to spot it. And down goes the Sherman. Nice control there by Cruzz. And one Sherman is off the field. Raketenwerfer pushes forward. Going to be getting flanked there by the Sherman. The Jagdpanzer is behind. Shreks are also on the field. The Sherman getting as much damage as it can there on the Flak Panzer, the Ostwind. And the Jagdpanzer is now in range. No, does not manage to get a shot off. And the Ostwind is still there. The Raketenwerfer has been stolen. The Ostwind is going to be punishing them for taking the Raketenwerfer. And a nice shot by the Jagdpanzer nails that. Nails the Sherman, and the forces of Quentin has been dwindled down to 2 paratroopers and a rear echelon squad. And as much fuel and as manpower as he has suffered enough losses that is going to be game. I don't see any way for him to come back because he doesn't have any vehicle columns or anything like that. So paratrooper squad just getting eliminated there at point blank by that, and well, Quentin just throwing in his 2 cents. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. So we're going to go to game 3. I didn't say that. But yeah, so we got 1 win. So yeah, I will see you guys on game 3.